Everyone, this is Star with Ariana Stark. This is your weekly love reading for the week starting from 11 to 17 January 2021. Like always, I will cover all 12 sun signs in this reading. Cross watchers also welcome to have a look at this reading. We also have the timestamp given in the description box, so in case you want to proceed directly to your reading, you can do just that. We will rely on tarot for your overall messages, and I'm also going to dive into this love oracle deck that I have here. For Aries, we have the card Queen of Wands, and I also have the card You Affected My Life Significantly. Quite simply, Aries, you're coming across as a very magnetic personality. Definitely, you're going to be wooed by the opposite sex. I think a particular suitor will try to sweep you off your feet by bombarding you with messages. Certainly this week, love will blossom for many of you. I think you will realize or you will understand that this person has affected your life or has impacted your life in a great way. In all likelihood, you will try to be friends with this person. Maybe you will take your time, and he knows that he has to be patient with you because you could lose interest in him. In case you're crushing on someone, I think thoughts of this person will fill up your senses. Perhaps you could also have those romantic dreams surrounding this person. Those of you who are romancing will understand that you have a deep connection with this person. Besides, I think there'll be dinner dates, or in case those dinner dates get cancelled or your health is an issue here, then maybe this person could also rustle up a quick meal for you. In case you're in an on-again, off-again relationship, I think you'll be contemplating about the future of this relationship. Maybe there's no communication, or there's hardly any phone call, or there's no news to write home about. That is why you could be a bit perturbed or upset. Interestingly, you will realize that even though you want to move away from this connection, you cannot do so. All in all, this person has left a deep imprint in your life. On the other hand, Aries who are married will be dealing with a person who is quite fussy. Maybe he is also being indifferent towards you. Ideally, I think Aries, you should use your persuasive skills if you want your person to come around or to do as you desire. Those of you in an unhappy connection could be dealing with a suspicious partner. Maybe unfaithfulness or infidelity could also be a factor here. From Aries, I will move to Taurus, which is the second sign of the zodiac. For Taurus, I have the card Emperor, and I also have the card I need to go my own way for a while. Sometimes, distance is necessary, or you need to take a step back to understand where this relationship is heading. So that is why I think Taurus, you're being called upon to retreat from this connection which you are forming with the person, or in case you're already in a connection, sometimes you need to find peace within yourself before you can proceed in the relationship. Incidentally, Taurus, you may find yourself being wooed by members of the opposite sex. Even younger people could be charmed by you. Maybe they are taken up by your looks, your demeanor. In all likelihood, they will try to impress you. Maybe they want to oblige you so that you can take note of them. For some of you, there could also be a suitor who could feel that you don't reciprocate, or that you're giving him a royal snub. Maybe he's doing everything in his power to get your attention, but you're disinclined or you're disinterested. I think you're somebody who's going to put limitations on yourself. Most likely, this person has definitely stirred feelings in your soul, but then you're not going to acknowledge. Besides, I feel that you may be bogged down on account of limitations surrounding your family as well. In case you're crushing on someone, I think you'll continue to cyberstalk this person. Maybe you want to send a message across, but then you have to retreat because your confidant could ask you not to do any such thing. Maybe that is why you want to step away from this relationship or connection. Besides, I think you don't want to come across as someone who's quite persuasive. On the other hand, romancing Taurus, I think you're dealing with a person who's quite insecure. Maybe you should reassure him. This person may feel as though he doesn't match up to your expectations, or he doesn't match up where looks are concerned or status is concerned. Nevertheless, I think Taurus, you're going to reassure this person that you have deep feelings for him, or that the love is deeper and it's not superficial. Basically, you will try to convey to him that love is deep and that it will not fade away, though looks can. Maybe Taurus, you're also in a connection where there's an age difference. So this is an issue here, but then you don't regard it as an issue. On the other hand, those of you who are married, I think you should stand up for yourself. Maybe you're dealing with a person who is quite domineering or overbearing. Perhaps your person wants everybody under his thumb. That is why you could be put off, or you could be emotional as well. Maybe your sibling or your confidant could also point it out that you need to stand up for yourself. From Taurus, I will move to Gemini, which is the third sign of the zodiac. For Gemini, I have the card Page of Cups, and I also have the card You Are Irreplaceable. Single Geminis, I think there'll be suitors, but then you may be unmindful of the fact that they are interested in you. Maybe you could come across somebody at the restaurant or at the bar. It's only later that you will realize that this person was trying too hard to get your attention. There could also be an oblique marriage offer, maybe in a circuitous manner. A marriage proposal could come up. For some of you, there could also be a proposal from a far-off place, maybe on a matrimonial site as well, but then you could be disinclined or disinterested. Perhaps these are early days as well. In case you're crushing on someone, Geminis, I think you will miss your crush. Possibly you will continue to cyberstalk this person. Possibly you also have the urge to make that phone call. You want to offer this cup of love because you feel that this person is irreplaceable. I think emotions are playing havoc in your life this week. Some of you may also want to reach out to an ex who is in deep trouble or who needs assistance to get his act together or to get his life back on track, but then you will withhold yourself. Nevertheless, this person sees you as someone who has left an indelible impression on his life. Those of you who are romancing, I think you should not be closed off with respect to emotions. Maybe sometimes there'll be a flurry of phone calls, but other times you may retreat or you may want your own space. On the other hand, married Geminis, I think you should avoid quarrels. Silly quarrels could disturb the family environment or the family peace. From Gemini, I will move to Cancer. For Cancer, I have the card Hierophant, and I also have the card I'm still haunted by my actions. In this week, you will be reminiscing about the past. I think you will be reminded of your past lovers or past admirers. Possibly some of you could also have a vision about your future love interest, or maybe you're dealing with someone who could come up in your visions. This will surely throw up answers about your life with this person. Maybe you could also see some signs around you which will assure you that someone whom you ardently love is actually made specially for you. And this could leave you a bit overwhelmed as well. Dancing Cancerians, you may find yourself in situations where your loved ones may want to dissuade you from forming an attachment with the person you are in love with. Maybe they think that you should distance yourself from this connection because there are too many limitations involved. Nonetheless, I think you are going to be someone who will carry on with this affair or romance. I think you think it's nobody's business to interfere in your life where emotions and love is concerned. But you will also be bothered because this person may also want to talk about your secret romance with your family elders. Those of you who are romancing, I think there could be some misunderstanding that you're dealing with. Maybe this person is also haunted by his actions. Maybe he's regretting over his actions. In case you're in an on-again, off-again relationship, I think you want to renew contact with your love, but then you could snap the line or you could disconnect the line before you can bring yourself to have a word with him. I think your confidant is also someone who will point out that your lover should have also shown an interest. Love can blossom only when both the sides are interested in the relationship. Nonetheless, I think you will also be having those ideas about marriage or settling down this week. Incidentally, married Cancerians, you're being called upon to maintain your poise. I think you could get into silly twists with your spouse. Issue could also be around financial matters. Maybe your spouse thinks that you're profligate. Nonetheless, I think he will be generous towards you. Maybe health issues could also come up and affect this relationship. Ideally, I think you and your spouse should not ignore each other. Besides, I think you should not involve another person to be mediating in your affairs. Maybe that is why this card, I'm still haunted by my actions. Either of you could have that tinge of regret or remorse. From Cancer, I will move to Leo. For Leo, I have the card Nine of Wands, and I also have the card I'm just doing what I have to do right now. In case you're crushing on someone, I think you will continue to cyberstalk your crush. Maybe you want to connect with this person, and this could make you a bit impatient as well. Maybe you're being challenged by this connection. I think for many of you Leos, I think this person could also be in your line of work or in your own field. Surely Leos, you will enjoy the attention that comes your way from the opposite sex. I think these admirers tend to lose their mind when they are around you. This is why when they recoil into a shell, you may wonder what's up. Basically, you're someone who's enjoying the attention that is coming your way. Those of you who are in an unacknowledged relationship, I think you will feel as though this relationship is making no headway. Maybe this person is going to make it plain that he is bogged down on account of responsibilities of his own, and he has no attachment for you. This is why it could leave you a bit heartbroken. Maybe he's just trying to do what is the right thing for him. Maybe he doesn't want to mislead you or delude you. Romancing Leos will be discussing work, no doubt. I think you will be somebody who will be very free with compliments. Maybe there will also be times that you have work that you have to take care of. That is why you cannot be attentive to your lover's needs. Some of you may also be discussing your past life or your childhood this week with your person. On the other hand, those of you who are married, I think you should keep your differences aside and you should work together. Maybe the two of you are also preoccupied on account of work. Ideally, I think you should seek assistance from your person. Maybe he could have some answers to your problems. Let's move to Virgo. For Virgo, I have the card 4 of Cups, and I also have the card. I look at your picture often. Surely single Virgos, I think you admire somebody who is trying to familiarize himself with you or your family members. Maybe he needs to find a way to get closer to you. This is why he's taking this approach. You're also dealing with unwanted attention coming your way from the opposite sex. Maybe you're also being stalked on the social media, so you need to be a bit careful. Those of you who are crushing on someone, I think you are desiring to reconnect with this person. Maybe you want to renew contact with your crush, but then he may fail to see your message. Some of you may also think that you have reached a dead end with respect to this relationship. Perhaps you should let the universe guide you. On the other hand, those of you who are romancing Virgos will be discussing work-related issues here. Maybe your lover could also be physically apart from you. Maybe he has to travel on account of work. That is why you are a bit discontented in this relationship. Maybe emotionally you are feeling the pangs of separation. Interestingly, some Virgos may also want to discuss your romance with your family elders. Maybe you want your mother to be acquainted with your person. On the other hand, married Virgos, I think you want your spouse to oblige you. So maybe you have to be a bit patient with him. Sometimes you wonder why he has to be so lax and why he can't be prompt. So this could leave you a bit hassled as well. I think your sibling or your confidant may tell you to grin and bear. If you want to have your way, then you have to put up with these foibles of your person. In case you are in an extramarital relationship, Virgos, I think you will get all worked up as your person's marital partner is to return. Maybe she was away on a trip and she's going to return, so that is why phone calls with your lover could become a thing of the past, or it could be infrequent, and this could disturb you a bit. Perhaps you should comfort yourself by looking at each other's picture on the social media, or even if you have shared photos of each other, then that could comfort you. All in all, Virgos, I think most of you will be looking up online or what the person is doing. Maybe you're going to see his photos online. Let's move to Libra. For Libra, I have the card Devil, and I also have the card. I just got sidetracked. Those of you who are secretly in love could be feeling miserable this week. I think you can't wish away those feelings. That is why you feel as though you're being sidetracked. Basically, you have no idea how to make the move or how to be acquainted with your person. Maybe you are tongue-tied. You want to express yourself or your emotions and feelings, but you don't know how to do the same. On the other hand, those of you who are romancing, I think you have to deal with the lover stiff. Maybe you feel ignored in the connection. Maybe you're also resorting to tit for tat. But then when you do talk, or when you realize that you are being childish, then you will think that time is slipping away. So that is why you may not want this distance. Nonetheless, your person is somebody who is going to be going overboard this week with respect to your looks, your grace, and your beauty. He sees you as someone who is very, very much in control of your life. I think many of you will also be discussing future plans with respect to your life. Maybe you have a venture in mind, or you want to settle down. So that is why these discussions will take center stage. Surely, I think Librans, you will realize that you are ready to walk down the sunset with your beloved. Interestingly, Librans, this week you may also encounter obstacles in your love life, and this could leave you mentally perturbed. Maybe there could be family members who could ask you to do away with this connection, but you will choose to do your own thing. Basically, you think you have the right to choose the person you want to be with. On the other hand, married Librans, I think you have to deal with the fluctuating moods of your person. Maybe one day he's in a good frame of mind, and the other day he seems to be in a foul mood. Disagreements in your marriage could also come about on account of a younger person. Ideally, I think Librans, you should show more love and affection. Maybe you should not sidetrack each other. In case you're in an unhappy connection and think infidelity could be a factor here, I think you could also feel as though you're being oppressed in this relationship. The feeling of being chained could be there. Those of you who are in an extramarital relationship could be distressed because your lover could talk vaguely, and this leaves you perplexed. Maybe you want commitment from this person, but he is shilly-shallying. From Libra, I will move to Scorpio. For Scorpio, I have the card Ten of Wands, and I also have the card It really was me, not you. Single Scorpions can expect marriage proposals this week. Maybe there's ambiguity or it's not spelled out. Nevertheless, there'll be several members of the opposite sex who are going to ogle at you, or they'll make passes at you. In case you're crushing on someone, I think you'll continue to cyberstalk your crush. Maybe you will be delighted as you come across new information with respect to your crush. I think there could be personal details, or there could be photographs on the social media which could leave you pleased as sponge. There'll also be those times when you'll be recalling those conversations that you've had. Maybe those memories will well up in your head. Interestingly, those of you who are romancing, I think there could be some burdens which are there which you need to do away with. Maybe there's some tension-filled moments because somebody is asking you to do away with this connection. Basically, Scorpions, you're also dealing with opposition to your love life. Maybe you feel a bit betrayed as well because somebody could want to tattle about your secret romance to family elders. This is why you could also have revenge on your mind. Nonetheless, those of you who are romancing Scorpions, you will be all ears when your lover talks. Maybe he could offer you advice with respect to how you should go about with work. He will also be someone who will praise you to the skies. Maybe he will appreciate your go-getter attitude. I think Scorpions, you should also take an interest in the books that your person reads so that you can get to know him or her better. On the other hand, married Scorpions, I think you should be patient with your person. Maybe you're also somebody who is quite fastidious. You're always complaining about something or the other. I think you also want your spouse not to travel. Maybe she wants to meet up with her family members, or she wants to travel to be with them. But you think it's not necessary or not required. So this could leave your spouse a bit upset as well. At times, you will also realize that it is your fault and you need to remedy the situation. This could especially be true in case there has been a misunderstanding of some sorts with your person. From Scorpio, I'll move to Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, I have the card Lovers, and I also have the card I'm afraid to take that next step right now. Possibly this person whom you're dealing with is afraid of the repercussions. Maybe he is tongue-tied. He doesn't know how to express himself. Interestingly, Sagittarians, we have the Lovers card. So certainly there's going to be a choice in love here. I think you should recognize your feelings for this person. Those of you who are romancing could also have to deal with the lover stiff. I think your lover could also be somebody who could be preoccupied with work, or he could ignore your phone calls. So you could also resort to tit for tat. Ideally, I think Sagittarians shouldn't be too naive or childish, because later you will realize that time is slipping away and you want to spend as much time with your person. Interestingly, Sagittarians, you may find your lover going overboard when he talks about your looks or your grace, your beauty. Maybe he sees you as someone who is in control of your life. I think the two of you also recognize that you're ready for marriage. However, there are those obstacles that you're dealing with. Maybe there are people who around you could dissuade you from moving forward in this connection. On the other hand, those of you who are married, I think you are dealing with the fluctuating moods of your person. Maybe your spouse is quite temperamental. Ideally, I think both parties should show more love and affection in this relationship rather than pick on each other. In case you're in an unhappy connection, I think unfaithfulness could be an issue here. Maybe you're also snubbing each other. Sometimes your lover or your person could also talk vaguely, and this could leave you perplexed. Maybe you're trying to understand what he is trying to convey to you this week. I think Sagittarians, you should be in each other's arms rather than be bothered about what's going on around you, or rather than let ego come in the way in your relationship. From Sagittarius, I'll move to Capricorn. For Capricorn, I have the card Knight of Pentacles. And I also have the card, I will make things right between us one day. In case you're crushing on someone, I think you may make the effort to reach out to your person, but then he could be ignoring you. At times you may realize that there are too many obstacles in the path. That is why you may feel as though this relationship is not meant to be. Interestingly, Capricorns who are in an unacknowledged relationship, I think this person will make it plain that he has no feelings for you, or that even if he is not being honest with himself, he could want to move away from this connection because he feels that he could leave you heartbroken. Basically, he feels that he has responsibilities towards his family, towards his mother. That is why he doesn't want to leave you under the impression that he's interested in you. I think your person also fears commitment this week. Interestingly, he also has those thoughts of making things right between the two of you someday. Those of you who are romancing, I think romancing Capricorns, I think your lover and you will share everything. Maybe your lover is also someone who becomes emotional as the evening sets in. So you should allow him to express himself rather than snub him or rather than butt in. Maybe you could also share your snap with your photograph with your lover or your person. On the other hand, those of you who are married, I think infidelity could be a factor here. Maybe there could be suspicion centering around your marriage. Maybe your person thinks that you're deliberately trying to cross paths with the worker of the opposite sex. Incidentally, those of you who are in a secret connection or in a hush-hush relationship, I think you should be a bit cautious, because there could be times when you feel that somebody could get a whiff of your secret romance. From Capricorns, I'll move to Aquarius. For Aquarius, I have the card Two of Wands, and I also have the card a lot of signs are pointing to you lately. Certainly the universe is sending you signs, or sending this person whom you are connected with or whom you are crushing on some signs which he shouldn't ignore. I think Aquarians, this week you will be discussing your past admirers. Maybe you will talk about how they were charmed by your conversational skills. In case you're crushing on someone, I think you'll be thinking of your crush. Maybe you could even consider calling this person up, but then you will hold yourself back as you want this person to make the first move. Perhaps you see it as a sign that it's not the right time to make a move. Those of you who are romancing Aquarians will have discussions related to work. Maybe you should be very mindful of the words you use. Sometimes, you may say something which could wound his soul. Perhaps you could bring up the issue of his childhood. So this inner child wounds needs to be healed, but this person may not want to talk about it. That is why he could recoil into a shell. In case your romance is undercover, I think there'll be some anxious moments. Maybe you think that there are prying eyes around you. On the other hand, married Aquarians, I think you may find that the third person is trying to provoke you to react. Maybe there could be disagreements with your in-laws. Ideally, Aquarians, you should be mindful of your choice of words. Sometimes it is best to not open our mouths, as this time will also pass. Last but not the least, I have the card Ace of Swords for Pisces, and I also have the card You are special to me even though I told you otherwise. Surely single Pisces, a marriage proposal is on the cards this week, but then these are early days. Maybe you should not read too much into it. Nonetheless, there will also be those admirers who will try to impress you. Maybe there are people who are much younger than you, or there could be an age difference with this person. Perhaps Pisces, you have someone else on your mind, and that is why you're going to continue to cyberstalk this person. Maybe you're going to try to understand his thoughts. You will read between the lines. I think you are somebody who finds your crush as a pure-hearted person. Incidentally, those of you who are in an unacknowledged relationship, I think you could be forced to communicate with this person on account of a problem that crops up. Maybe you don't want to do the same, but then you are being forced to reach out to this person. I think there's a tension here which is hard to ignore, which you cannot overlook. On the other hand, those of you who are romancing, there'll be brief conversations with your person. Maybe you're also holding your tongue.Maybe you realize that this person is very special to you, even though you haven't said the same. Maybe work could also keep you busy or preoccupied. That is why you have brief conversations with your lover. Married Pisces, I think you should avoid arguments or disagreements. That is, maybe you're somebody who doesn't want to assist your partner. You think he's too fussy, that is why you want to leave him to his own devices. Interestingly, a third person or a younger person could also be the root cause of squabbles between you and your person. Ideally, Pisces, you need to weigh your words this week. I hope everyone you liked your reading. This is Star with Ariana Stark. Please give us your feedback in the comment section. We also have the monthly forecast, which is published before the month commences. Have a look at that as well to get greater insight into your life. This is Ariana Stark signing off. Take care. Bye. Till the next time.